Welcome to this Roll for Crit review. We decided we might as well review the 2017 Spiel Jahres winner, Kingdomino.
Yeah, this is a big win for Kingdomino against games like Magic Maze and El Dorado that we've talked about previously. But this is the winner. This is the big winner, which means, of course, that it's a family-friendly game that's accessible to players of all ages and that's really fun, supposedly. Let's see what we think. So the way the Kingdomino works, it's a tile-laying game, right?
Yes.
And you start out by having a little castle, little centerpiece like this, and nothing else around it. We've kind of set up a mid-game to late-game thing here.
Right. And the first round will be randomly picking your pieces that you start on, and you'll be able to take your piece back, take the tile on it, and place it somewhere in your kingdom, as long as it's touching a tile of the same terrain type. As you can see, this is pretty much all the terrain types available. Some of them are more common than others. But then afterwards, for now and for the rest of the game, you'll be looking at these and choose which ones you want. And where you place them will also mean turn order. So you may really want this piece, for example, probably I want that one, but it means it'll be the last for picking on the next ones to be revealed.
Yeah, each tile is split into 2 squares, so as long as one half of those matches somewhere in your kingdom, you're good. But what really, the decision-making comes down to where do you want to match them up, possibly at the sacrifice of another piece somewhere else. It's usually not a perfect scenario for you. And the reason that you want to match them up is really these crowns in the corner. Because if you just have a spot where things are connected, like right here, I've got these 2 green areas, these sheepy hills connected to each other, that's worth nothing because there's no crowns there. But this swamp area right here, I've got 3 squares and 2 crowns. So my score would be 2 crowns times 3 squares, 6 points.
Possibly more if he then connects them, which means more crowns and more terrain.
Yeah.
But you also have a restriction. You can't build more than 5 by 5 grid. So right now, I've already built 5 this way. So the next tile I pick up can't go here or here. And if I put that there, that's pretty much to find my kingdom.
Yeah, so you get to kind of decide, like you can see, usually I feel like we always keep our castles in the center just because it looks nice, but there's an example you could build around it. You can build however you want, and there's also, you're mostly focusing on your own kingdom, but there's certainly an aspect of keeping an eye on what your opponents are doing. If I can tell, oh, like right here, this is an insane
right, like
point
if I
value.
wasn't the first one to go, like let's say you had this tile. Once you laid that, you're going to be like, I can't let him get that.
Exactly. So that's a big part of it, is sort of that hate drafting, you might call it, in a sense. So that's really all there is. It's very, very simple. It's a tile laying game that, I mean, I would kind of liken it to something like Carcassonne, but even faster, much faster than that, and more personalized. You're not building a region together. You're mainly worrying about your own situation over here. But so yeah, what do you think? Spiel Jahres is a word.
Yeah, I definitely think I can see why this was chosen. It's simple to play, and I've been able to play that with my parents, which 9 times out of 10, it's hard to teach them anything above tic-tac-toe. And I do love this little kingdom you create, and it does have this sort of puzzle-solving aspect almost. Because while you said you can't hate draft, it's not as bad as it felt like Carcassonne, the example you used. Because I felt like sometimes we've played that, there's been some really like, I'm just going to ruin your day now.
Yeah, or Splendor is another example of something kind of in the same level of complexity, but on one where you can get much more aggressive. This one, a lot of it is, well, let's see what comes out, and you can kind of roll with it and not get too bogged down in the point min-maxing and all that stuff.
Plus, the art is really cute. I do love some of these big tiles. You'll see like the shadow, just something great. It doesn't mean anything, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's very colorful. Everything pops. It's vibrant and fun. And like you said, the little designs, no 2 tiles are exactly the same. Even if it's the same terrain type, there's just different numbers of sheep or whatever. It's just cute. And once you're finished, you kind of have this fun little thing that you can look at, your little kingdom that you made. I'm very proud because the first time we ever played, I achieved the impossible 5 by 5 perfect
Yeah, it actually
grid.
took us a while for that to become more of a common thing. We're not that smart, except for Jonathan. He's like on a roll with that.
But honestly, I don't have a ton to say about this game. I'm not, I don't feel like it didn't deserve to win the Spiel Jahres. Personally, I liked Magic Maze better, but that's another discussion. It's very, very simple. It's cute. It's fun. It gets the job done. It's in, it's out, it's fast. You'll enjoy it, but it's not something that I feel like there's a lot to really chew on in terms of the mechanics.
I guess for me, I liked it a bit more. Mostly, I mean, I do come from loving, and I think we both agree that, you know, your Arkham Horror or your detectives, you know, your very heavy games. But for the small game it is, I think it's that perfect, to me, it's what a Spiel is in terms of, it's not like, oh, look, it has some weird mechanic that's unique. It's fun.
Yeah, no, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's just, like I said, it is what it is. You'll like it. Crits and misses for Kingdomino. Starting with crits. It's accessible to everyone, whether you're new to games or a veteran, without feeling too dumbed down in its mechanics.
It really does the drafting of the tiles and placement and scoring very crisp but clean, so even the newest player can understand how they can choose their pieces and whatnot. And while the veterans can really try to maximize their points in some really cool, complete kingdoms.
The feeling of watching your kingdom grow as you build it and seeing that end result, even if you weren't the winner, is satisfying. It's colorful and cute. All the tiles really pop and are fun to take and put in your kingdom. The art style overall is just pleasant.
Yeah, a lot of them have little differences. See if you can spot them, whether it's the Nessie we talked about earlier, or a dragon, or even a guy fighting a spider. Now to lay down some misses. This was a Spiel des Jahres, and it is perfect for families, for all ages, whether for children or adults. And while it's no Candyland, it does boil down to some simple mechanics and not much interaction, which for some players can be a little bit boring.
It is a filler game, more or less, but it fits that role as it's designed to.
Kingdomino has risen to the top of games and claiming the ever-desired Spiel des Jahres for 2017. And while Jonathan and I have a little bit of debate about the game, overall we do agree it is a great game for all ages, especially if you do have kids and there's that big age gap, because it does take simple mechanics and keeps it clean.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid title, and we were kind of talking before about how it's not expensive. So if it's something that you're interested in, definitely worth picking up. I guess my main gripe is just that it didn't really stick with me in a real meaningful way. Once we were finished with it, I was like, that was fun. I have no problem It's like the light salad of games. It will make you feel good. And it's good for you, but it's not super filling. But I think that is what it's designed as. So it's kind of hard to really fault it for that too much. That's just more of a personal thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I do think in the end it does make a great addition to the shelf, and maybe for me that's why, because most of my games are do you have an entire night? Great.
I think that's what it comes down to is what kind of games do you have? Like if you already have a ton of filler games like this or lighter games like a Carcassonne or what have you, maybe you don't need this. Whereas, but maybe if you do want something new to change up your game nights to go in between, it will fill that role. Write down below in the comments what you think of Kingdomino. Is it the king, or would you rather play dominoes? Pretty stupid thing to say.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below, and of course you can tweet at us or on Instagram. But until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been a Roll for Crit review.
Don't forget to click that like button and of course subscribe for even more excellent videos.
I subscribed and now I'm rich.